Hi everyone, Chocoholic here, back with another review. I'm going to do today a very different kind of chocolate. This is totally Chocolonely. I don't even know what that means really. It seems to have won some kind of prizes, and as I'm showing it to you, this is a special chocolate because this is what they say. Hi, I'm Tony's Chocolonely. I exist to end slavery in the chocolate industry. My mission is to make 100% slave-free the norm in chocolate. So what are they talking about? There's also they call fair trade chocolate. So first we're going to try it, and then maybe we'll address the politics of chocolate, which are deep and international. It's a very thick chocolate. It's uh, it's not a prize. It's just some kind of label on top. Let's check it out. I'm going to open it. It's paper. I find that I prefer the cardboard ones like Lint and like Milk Boy because you can pull the chocolate out in and out. Here I have to open the whole thing, so now the whole thing is exposed. It's a silver back. Ooh, it's a whole thing inside, guys. It's a whole thing inside. I'm gonna have to put some graphics up or something.
That's the situation.
It is. It is. There's a fist in the air, and then there's
Is it
broken
black people's? Black
chains.
people's?
A lot of black people's involved, sure. Because the chocolate grows in, I think, Africa, and I think it grows in South America.
Mm.
And what happens a lot of time is the big companies, because these are all, not these people, I guess, but most companies that do the chocolate are very, very large companies. Some of the biggest in the world, like Nestle, Mars, Kraft Food is a big chocolate buyer. And what happens is that there's abuse at the local level that propagates through the industry. On top of that, it's not easy to grow cocoa beans. So I think it's a whole thing.
Hmm.
All right, so
Who knew?
there's a great book called The Chocolate Wars. I'm going to look up the book cover and I'll show you the name of the author. She did a great talk on C-SPAN a couple, 3, 5 years ago. And she talked about Mars versus Hershey and the whole genealogy of where Hershey and Nestle and Mars and other companies fit and who invented milk chocolate and all that. Great book. The Chocolate Wars taught me a lot. All right, chocolate time. Another non-standard pattern. But this one is not as obnoxious as the lozenge ones from Scharfenberger in that it is somewhat regular. But I think it's going to cause problems already. But we'll see. So I'm going to break it. It does break where it's supposed to. That means that, how am I going to break this long one? I don't know. Very melty already. Ooh. Smell it. It's
A bit bitter.
it's got a little of that cocoa bitterness smell in it, but it's rich, and I'm hoping that it's going to be more like a dark chocolate as opposed to a bitter chocolate, which I really think there's a difference. Easy to bite, very melty, not bitter. It's good. It's not great, but it's good. It's not bitter at all, but it does have, probably because it's something they're trying to do, it does have a cocoa aftertaste, which is not unpleasant. This is, I think, a a good chocolate. This is good chocolate.
It's worth the
It's
cost,
Oh, absolutely. Well, I don't know how much it cost. I forgot
not
my.
the cost.
No,
The
I know what you
cause.
mean. I said cost. I wonder how much it cost. I forget. I'm gonna look it up again. We got this at the expensive store at the Gelson's. I gotta do a whole show on Gelson's. Gelson's is awesome. This is just good, solid chocolate. Politics or not, I think that this should sell and do well. You give this to a kid, they would love it. For me, it's more complex than Hershey's. It's got a little bit of nuttiness at the end of note, but the creaminess somehow isn't quite there. Although it's quite rich and it is creamy, but it's not as top as a Milk Boy or as the Ritter Alpine milk. So what they're saying here, right now slaves are working on cocoa farms in West Africa, many of them children. I didn't know about the slave problem. I really just wasn't aware of that. They want to get rid of all that with very tasty chocolates. That's a great thing. So I think I have to learn more about the slave situation about chocolate. What I was aware of is a lot of local abuse where plantations and plantation owners are bullied by the large corporations who have purchasing power and who act as if it's no big deal to play hardball with some farmer in a disadvantaged country to get the best price possible every time to make their very tasty chocolates. We hear all the time about climate change and politics affecting the supply of chocolate, but this is kind of fucked up here if we have slaves gathering our cocoa beans. So I'm going to probably do a show on that later and try to figure out exactly are these guys on point? Are they
Propaganda?
well, no, I don't think propaganda so much as they are they trying to ride some kind of liberal train and not really address the real problem, and then or maybe they are the canary
Coal mine.
in the coal mine. Thank you, canary in the coal mine, warning us all about the potential abuse of large companies against small farms and farmers, which we know happens all the time.
It's happening in this country right now.
Well, in this country, you got the what? You got the Monsanto, right? Then you got the large agribusiness. You have the regulations who are very, very pro large farms. For example, in Canada, they legalized marijuana. I don't know how you feel about marijuana legalization, but the problem I have is not so much that it's legal or not legal, is the way they're muscling out the small producer of high quality marijuana. Same way they're doing with chocolate, which is to say, oh, you have to have this much equipment and this much security and this much stuff, and you're too small. Oh, too bad. Only the big guys can play the game. So that being said, it's a show about chocolate. I really enjoyed the Tony's. I can't even say it. Tony's Chocolonely milk chocolate. It's thick. It's good. It is for a good cause, and I give it an A. It's very good. Chocoholic out. I'll see you later. And he won't click. Chocoholic afterthought. This is really from the point of view of the addict as opposed to the chocolate lover. I find these packaging obnoxious. The wrapper's all fucked up. I mean, there's no bringing it back. I can't put it back into the paper because they have this whole political thing, and so now this is useless as well. What am I supposed to do with this? I'm going to finish it because I'm an addict, but I can't close it up. And on top of that, these irregular chunks are cute. They're very, very cute. But man, I can't break it up regularly. And so it affects everything. And so that's the only thing with packaging here on the Tonys, where it's not the best packaging. And it affects the product. Pardon?
I think you should change the grade.
No, because the chocolate is delicious. And so this is delicious is the enemy. And they really got me. This is really good. But in a way, you're right. I should lower the grade because it's not quite the perfect chocolate in terms of form factor.
Your access to delicious has been compromised.
Anyway, little rant about packaging. Chocoholic out.